Hi, my name is Courtney Caruso, and I'm talking about the history of smoking today. Smoking is a significant issue for our society because of the progression it has made over time. Therefore, people should know how it has made this impact and the history behind it. Why does it seem important to understand the smoking and where it comes from? It is important to know the history of smoking because it has made its way into many people's lives today. And many just see it as a simple thing without any harm. When in fact it is harmful and everyone should know its effects and purpose. It'll give you the more knowledge behind the issues that smoking can bring. Many people just pick up a pack of cigarettes and don't think of the harms that come with it and the consequences behind it. Today I'll be talking about the importance, the origination, where and when it began, the progression, the advertisements that smoking has with it, and the impact, the health issues and statistics of smoking. There's a long history behind smoking. Where it originated, who first thought to use it as smoking rather than any other use, and how those came about finding the product they were. There are many different substances that can be smoked, although I will be targeting the particular tobacco substance. In the beginning, it said that smoking began in 6000 BC, although it cannot be proved. Smoking was used more in the Middle Eastern countries as a social activity and was smoked out of hookah, which is a certain pipe, which had nicotine substances before tobacco was even heard of. Before tobacco was smoked, it was used as money and trade. As time moved forward, tobacco was introduced to Europe in the early 1500s and in America in the 1600s. Before tobacco was smoked, it was chewed instead, as some still chew it today. It wasn't until 1836 when New Englander Samuel Green stated that tobacco is an insecticide, a poison that can kill a person, according to the University of Boston. The origination of cigarettes. According to the University of Boston, in 1847, the famous Philip Morris is established selling handmade Turkish cigarettes. In 1849, J.E. Liggett and Brother are established in St. Louis, Missouri. Cigarettes got their boost and became very popular. In the 1900s, the cigarette was the single most popular tobacco substance sold in stores. The origination of smoking created the progression and the lead of advertisement of this product. The advertisement, commercials, television shows, and movies. In the past generations, a good amount of people were smoking because it was the cool thing to do. In most generations' parents were younger, you could smoke almost anywhere, restaurants, hotels, and even some hospitals, according to Teen Health magazine. When today it's almost prohibited everywhere. You can't smoke in restaurants, let alone anywhere on the premises, and definitely not in hospitals. As time came around, there were advertisements that made cigarettes and smoking look cool, or some would say sexy. This was without stating the harms that smoking could bring. If a kid saw their favorite movie star on TV and they saw them smoking, they'd think that that was the cool thing to do because they were their role model. But as time moved on, times changed and more harms and stuff were found in products such as cigarettes. Commercials and ads. Commercials and ads had a big part on smoking and still do to this generation. Cool. That's a cigarette brand. It starts to decay, but it says it right there on the pack. It's cool to smoke. It's the cool thing to do. Camel cigarettes advertised with an actual cartoon character, a camel. He was always the cool guy, had the leather jacket on, and it was the thing to do. And he always had a cigarette in his mouth. In movies and commercials, it seems as if you aren't smoking, that means you weren't the cool one in the group. This could push kids to think that it was awesome to smoke and to start doing it. With the progression and the education behind smoking, we come to the point of knowing more about the harms and substances in smoking and the effects they have if we choose to smoke. Although in time we may have been just a simple thing people did because they thought it was the cool thing to do, as time went on, more problems arose. More and more health issues were brought into perspective when it came to smoking. Some problems can be more serious than others, some even leading to death. The list of issues can continue for miles, and the more time goes on, the more issues arise. The statistics are behind smoking. According to the World Health Organization, 80,000 to 100,000 children start smoking every day, half of which come from Asia. Evidence shows worldwide ages 13 to 15 and one in every 5 kids smokes. Close to 15 billion cigarettes are sold daily. That is 10 million cigarettes sold every minute worldwide, according to the World Health Organization. The health facts behind it. Smoking can bring many health issues into play, including but not limited to such cancers in the lungs, mouth, and throat, respiratory problems, and heart disease, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Smoking-related diseases kill 1 in 10 adults globally, according to the World Health Organization. In the U.S., 500,000, that's 500,000, die from smoke-related deaths every year, and worldwide close to 5 million die a year, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Although the numbers seem to be very high now, in 3 decades alone, 1960 to 1990, smoking in Americans have cut down to half, according to the World Health Organization. Having the education behind the health issues can give people what they need to know, the consequences that come about if one decides to start smoking or make the decision to not. The risk can make a person think more logically about it. Today I've discussed the history of smoking by explaining where it began, how it progressed, and how health issues are now known with more education behind smoking. I leave you today with the knowledge of smoking, something that can start as a simple thing and turn into something bigger than anyone expected. Thank you.